We're very happy tonight to have as our keynote speaker. First of all, who is a Giants fan in this audience? Huh? Well, it looks like we picked the right speaker tonight, I think. What do you think, huh? Our keynote speaker had a standout career playing for the New York Giants, and he hails from nearby Montrose, Pennsylvania, so really one of our greater Binghamtonians. One of the neat things about this whole evening is that people here are bullish and love our area. This is a great celebration, not just for outstanding athletes and sports figures, but it's a celebration of the greater Binghamton area too, including Montrose, because people here are so happy to be from here and spend time here, family here, and have enjoyed growing up, and in many cases still live here too. That's wonderful. Chris Snee, a 4-time Pro Bowl selection, a 2-time Super Bowl champion, a 3-time All-Pro, spent 10 seasons playing with the New York Giants. And of course to Montrose, from there on to Boston College, stand out there, All-American with Boston College. Made his National Football League debut not too far away from his home area, Philadelphia. He played against the Eagles, and he helped block for Tiki Barber as he ran for 125 yards that day. And I know the offensive lineman will say, Tiki, that was a lot due to us, and I'm sure it was. Congratulations on a tremendous career. Let's take a little look back at some of the highlights from this All-Pro with us here tonight.
Well, to me, I mean, when you put that uniform on, you're not playing for yourself. You're playing for all your teammates, for your coaches, the organization, the fans. I mean, it's more than an individual, you know, putting on a jersey and going out and playing the game. And you play with passion. You play for the team.
Yeah, I think Chris has done everything we've ever asked for him from a football standpoint. And he's been a great player. He's been a great leader. And we've had a good run together. He's been a great friend of mine. We were roommates our first year. When we were on the road or traveling, so we've been through a lot together. He's a warrior. Have great confidence when he's out there on the field with you that he's going to be competing and he's going to be doing a great job.
Chris Snee's a guy that definitely has helped me come along. You know, he's one of those guys that doesn't say much, but when he speaks to you, especially individually, you want to pay attention. You want to know exactly what he's saying. You know he's a guy that you can depend on, especially on the field. He lays it all out on the field for us each and every week for a number of years. I say to myself, if I could be half the player he is and going out there and not complaining ever. You never hear him make a complaint. You never hear him bad-mouthing a teammate. He's always going out there putting his best foot forward. Now, if I could be half the teammate he is, I'll be doing well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Snee.
Man, that video makes me close to tearing up again. You know, it's still so soon that my career is over. But good evening. When I received in the mail the material from the Binghamton Sports Hall of Fame that had a list of honorees and the selection committee, it also included a sheet detailing the requirements for the featured speaker for this inaugural dinner. The first was that the person be a national sports figure. I'm not sure I qualify, but I am extremely happy and proud to be here tonight. For those of you who might not be familiar with me, I retired last season after playing 10 years in the New York Giants. I was fortunate to play on 2 Super Bowl winning teams. I brought the hardware tonight for everyone to see. I enjoyed every minute of my football career, beginning at Montrose High School, which is just about 30 minutes from here at Boston, then at Boston College, and then in the NFL. Whenever someone asks me where I'm from, I always say northeastern Pennsylvania, somewhere between Scranton and Binghamton, because nobody knows where Montrose is. But this area has always been special to me. I know this is Giants country up here. That is one of the reasons I am familiar with so many of the inductees of this inaugural class. All of them had impressive achievements as athletes or coaches or both. But when I look at them, I don't think of statistics they accumulated or the honors they received. I don't think of how many points King Rice or Bess Greenberg scored how many tackles Isaiah Kazavinsky made or how many touchdowns Bob Campbell scored. How many games Dick Baldwin, Fran Angeline, or Dick Hoover won as coaches. Or even how many arguments Ron Luciano had with Major League umpires. What comes to mind, first and foremost, is the positive difference they have made in countless lives far beyond their own. They inspired so many others through their words and accomplishments. Isn't that what we all strive for? To make a difference and to impact others? That is what every one of the men and women we honor tonight did in their careers and in their lives. When I reflect on my football career, it's not about specific plays or games or even the championships we won. My first thoughts are about the people I played with and for. In high school and in college, I had teammates who were leaders and led by example, and I tried to emulate them. When I joined the Giants in 2004, the offensive linemen already on the team, some of you may know them, Richie Soyber, Sean O'Hara, David Deal, showed me what it took to be successful in the NFL. Another rookie that season was someone you've all heard of and spoke in the video, Eli Manning. Eli is not the loudest or most demonstrative football player you'll ever meet. Actually, the opposite is true. But in 10 years we were teammates, he set an example for everyone through his dedication, preparation, and work ethic, just as the men and women we honor here tonight did. But it was my coaches who probably influenced me greatest in my athletic career. Coaches have a profound impact on the lives and careers of those they lead. It is no coincidence to me that so many great coaches are among the first inductees of this Hall of Fame, because they shaped so many lives during their long tenures on benches and sidelines and locker rooms. Tom Coughlin, another name I know you recognize, and one of the coaches so important to me, likes to say that coaching is making men do what they don't want to do so they can become what they want to be. My high school coach was Tom Luceni, who is probably familiar with some of you here tonight. I never played youth football because I was too heavy. So my career began at Montrose High School. Luceni was the coach who taught me the basics, including how to get in a stance. He was the first coach to impress upon me the importance of having an unwavering work ethic. His philosophy was the more physical team will win the game. As much as football has changed with passing games becoming more prevalent and popular, the importance of Coach Luceni's brand of physical football still holds true. He would often travel to Boston, to New Jersey to watch me play with the Giants, and to this day, he's one of my closest friends. A man that I visited on my way up here today. With the Giants, I played for two coaches in my 10-year career that influenced me greatly. Tom Coughlin and my offensive line coach, again. He taught me how to be a pro. You can't rely on just talent alone. I couldn't imagine playing for any coach who had his players more prepared than Coach Levy did. We covered everything, and I mean everything. Whenever a group of young linemen would come in, Coach Flaherty would remind them, this is your job. There's only so many of them. I bought into that. It was my job, and I was going to approach it as if nobody was going to take it from me. I couldn't imagine becoming the Pro Bowl player I was without him. And I can make the same statement about Tom Coughlin. He was the Giants head coach for my entire career, and as you guys know, my father-in-law. When the Giants selected me in the second round of the 2004 draft, there were a lot of questions about how such a relationship would play out on an NFL team, and whether I would receive preferential treatment, which did not happen, trust me. Neither of us wanted to discuss it, though. I'm not sure how many people could have handled that situation. My demeanor and my approach helped. I'm a laid-back person, and I had goals I was determined to reach, just as Coach did. He helped me become a better player and a better man. I've always wanted a hard-nosed coach who demanded a lot, but only demanded what he knew you could do, and that is him to a T. Were there times when I would go home and complain to my wife, Kate? Absolutely. But she didn't want to hear it. And while I did not have the privilege of meeting all the honorees we recognize tonight, I am certain they shared many of the same outstanding qualities as the coaches I just told you about. Whether they were players, coaches, administrators, they challenged those who worked with and for them. They demanded those they worked with be the best they could be at all times. And they motivated countless individuals to always strive to reach that goal, and to do it within the rules and with dignity and grace. I'd like to think that I'm following in their footsteps. As my career progressed, I made it a part of my job to help all the young linemen who came into our room, whether they wanted it or not. I helped them in the weight room, taught them how to be a pro. After I retired, I looked for a job. I realized quickly that quality time at home is great, but after a while, I needed something to do. I entertained many ideas. Went to Wall Street. But it all came back to my love for football. That's all I wanted to do. Last year, I volunteered at a local high school. I coach youth once a week to this day. Been getting involved with the Giants a little bit and trying to figure out what my next step will be, but I know it will involve the game of football because it's meant so much to my development. I became a successful NFL player thanks in part to the help I received from my teammates and coaches at every level. I was inspired by them, just as I'm sure so many others have been inspired by the 16 men and women we honor tonight with their induction to the Binghamton Sports Hall of Fame.